Fascinating stack of sources for you today. I mean, everything from a personal manifesto detailing some incredible transformations to deep philosophical insights and ancient spiritual traditions that seem to whisper the same truths across the millennia. Our mission today, well, it's to extract those gleaming nuggets of knowledge, those genuine aha moments. We want this to serve as your shortcut, to being profoundly well informed about personal transformation. So get ready for some surprising facts, maybe some shifts in perspective that might just change how you think about, well, pretty much everything.
Yeah, absolutely. And this isn't just about abstract theories or dusty old texts that feel disconnected from our lives today. What's really compelling about this deep dive, I think, is how these incredibly diverse sources, centuries old wisdom, modern spiritual thought, they surprisingly align. They point to a fundamental shift in perspective and understanding that can profoundly impact your everyday experience of the world. It offers insights that are, well, both timeless and incredibly relevant right now.
Okay, so to really set the stage for this idea of becoming the new self, one of our sources, it's this testimony submission form for a particular manifesto. It asks people to share their personal journeys. It's structured with prompts like, before my change I was, or my lowest point was. Then what helped me change was, today I am, and I am grateful for, stuff like that. And these stories, they aren't just about personal evolution in the usual sense. When you look at them through the lens of our other sources, they reveal something kind of startling. The new self isn't something you add or build. It feels more like something you uncover.
Hmm.
And that uncovering, it seems to begin with realizing that consciousness,
Hmm.
well, it isn't something we have, like an arm or a brain. It's the very essence of what we are. That feels like the first big aha moment we need to get into.
Absolutely. That's the foundational insight, really. Consciousness isn't something we possess, it is what we are. It's central to all our sources. Just think about it for a second. Everything in the material universe is constantly changing, right? It's all in flux. Your body's cells are replaced, your identity evolves with experiences, memories fade, even your thoughts are fleeting.
Right, constantly changing.
But there's that fundamental knowingness beneath it all, that silent I am, you could say, that constant awareness. It remains. It's always there, just observing, experiencing, no matter what thoughts or feelings appear within it. It's the constant in a world of change.
And the sources describe it in such, wow, such poetic ways, almost cosmic. They call consciousness the only constant, the silent witness behind the storm, where thought dissolves and form returns to formlessness, where birth and death are ripples on an endless sea. That's beautiful.
It really is.
It's painted as the still point beneath the turning of galaxies, the untouched presence behind every dream, every sensation. Stars fade, worlds rise and fall, bodies age. Yet you, as this fundamental awareness, remain. So, okay, if this silent witness is the constant, how do the sources suggest we can actually, feel that
Yeah.
or recognize it amidst all the noise of daily life?
That's the crucial question, isn't it? Because it's easy to talk about, harder to grasp experientially. The sources emphasize that consciousness isn't just constant, it's also the fundamental container for all experience. Every single sensation, every thought, every perception you have, it all appears within consciousness, not outside it.
Okay, within it.
Yeah, think about it. Without awareness, without consciousness, you couldn't know anything. Nothing could even be said to exist in your personal experience. It's the fundamental ground of being for everything you perceive, like the canvas upon which all of life's drama unfolds. So recognizing this isn't about ignoring your thoughts or feelings. No, it's about understanding them as contents appearing within this unchanging awareness.
Okay. So if this consciousness is what we are, and it's this constant, unwavering presence, this silent I am, then what does that mean for our individual selves? The me with my unique thoughts, my feelings, my memories, my personal history. That's where things get really fascinating. And maybe, yeah, a lot mind-bending.
Right. It naturally leads us to this core concept,
Mm.
the illusion of separation. Our sources consistently explain that our really deep-seated sense of being an isolated, distinct self, well, it's largely a construction.
Construction, how so?
It's created by the accumulation of our thoughts, our memories, our learned perceptions, the labels we stick on everything, ourselves included. We build these conceptual boundaries. But if you could somehow dive beneath those transient labels and forms, consciousness itself is described as indivisible, formless, eternal. It's the same essence, the same fundamental awareness, just experiencing itself through countless different forms, including you.
Wow. That's a powerful idea. And almost counterintuitive, isn't it? We spend so much of our lives reinforcing our individuality. One source uses this incredible analogy that really helps, I think. It says, just as a single sun reflects in countless pools of water, one awareness shines through every mind, body, and being.
Lovely.
When you look into another's eyes, it is the same presence looking back. It just makes you pause, doesn't it? It suggests our individual experiences are like those reflections, unique, distinct, beautiful even, but they all ultimately stem from the same source, the same single light.
Precisely. And a really crucial point here is that this isn't about erasing individuality. It's not saying your unique personality isn't real or doesn't matter, not at all. Instead, it offers this profoundly unifying perspective. It frames the incredible diversity of life, all our different bodies, cultures, languages, ways of being, as like branches of a single magnificent tree.
Okay, distinct branches, same root.
Exactly. Distinct, yes, but also inseparably rooted in the same source. And this view, actually, it finds echoes in so many profound traditions. You mentioned some earlier. Advaita Vedanta, Zen Buddhism, Sufi mysticism, they all touch on this. And it even, interestingly, brushes up against certain ideas in quantum physics, this notion that the observer and the observed aren't entirely separate.
Right, the perceiver and perceived being linked.
Yeah, two facets of a single interwoven reality. It's a truly holistic kind of understanding.
That's a perfect segue because, yeah, this isn't just some modern New Age idea or a quirky philosophical thought experiment. The roots of this concept go incredibly deep. They echo through time and ancient wisdom traditions all over the world. Let's start with Sufi mysticism. Maybe you know the poet Rumi.
Of course, beautiful poetry.
He famously declared, "You are not a drop in the ocean. You are the entire ocean in a drop." And that's not just pretty words, right? It means you are the universe experiencing itself through your singular point of awareness. Your individual experience is like a microcosm, a perfect tiny reflection of the whole. You contain the totality within you.
And expanding on that, you see it so explicitly in Hinduism, particularly in Advaita Vedanta. Their core teaching is Atman equal Brahman, which basically translates to the individual soul, Atman, is one and the same with the universal consciousness, Brahman. The ultimate goal there, liberation or moksha, comes from realizing this non-separation, recognizing that your deepest self is identical with the ultimate reality. It's a realization, not something you achieve or gain.
A realization, okay. And then moving to Buddhism. It's slightly different, right? It uniquely emphasizes that a fixed, unchanging self is an illusion, no permanent ego. But the teaching is that awareness itself is boundless, indivisible. Every sentient being, every single one of us, is seen as an expression of the whole. So there's no separate thing called self, just this dynamic flow of awareness experiencing itself in countless ways.
Like a dance.
Yeah, dance is a good way to put it. And if we sort of synthesize these themes across these major Eastern traditions, the common ground is striking. They all point towards inner transformation.
Yeah.
Freedom isn't found by changing the outside world, but by shifting consciousness.
Shifting inside.
Right. There's also this deep emphasis on interconnectedness, that humans, nature, the cosmos, we're all profoundly linked, fundamentally, not just metaphorically. Mindfulness and presence are highlighted as key practices, ways to find peace by living fully now. And finally, there's this theme of balance harmonizing apparent opposites, like yin and yang, spirit and matter, self and other. And all these ancient ideas, they really resonate powerfully in a more modern spiritual perspective too, don't they? The sources talk about fractal existence.
Yeah.
This idea that just like a tiny piece of a hologram holds the whole image.
Right, the whole is in the part.
Exactly. The entire universe, all its intelligence and patterns, reflects perfectly within each one of us. It emphasizes consciousness as primary, meaning everything arises within awareness, and fundamentally you are that awareness. And it all culminates in what our sources call unity consciousness, which is basically the understanding that our feeling of being separate from nature, from other people, from the sources, it's just that.
Wow.
It's a perception. It's not the ultimate reality. It's not about losing yourself, but about realizing you are never truly apart to begin with. So,
Okay, this is profound stuff. Deep philosophy, ancient wisdom. But what does it all actually mean for you listening right now? This isn't just some abstract concept to, ponder over coffee. The sources make it really clear. Realizing this deep truth profoundly transforms how we live, day to day.
Absolutely. It brings about a practical awakening, you could say. For instance, the sources state, when we know that hurting another is hurting ourselves, compassion naturally flows. Just think about how that shifts everyday interactions, moments of disagreement, conflict.
yeah.
Realizing that fundamental connection, it naturally fosters a deeper empathy, doesn't it? A drive towards understanding, not just winning. It reframes our whole approach to relationships, from transactional to intrinsically connected. And it also suggests when we see that love is not something given or received, but something we are, fear dissolves. This isn't just about thinking differently. It's about being differently, experiencing a foundational shift in your emotional and ethical core.
It feels like it empowers you, too, with this incredible idea that your individual life, your unique path, your experiences, they're not just personal. They're like a portal, a direct line into universal intelligence. It's how the universe gets to experience itself uniquely through your lens, your particular drop in the ocean.
Yeah.
To use Rumi's idea again. That gives your existence a profound significance, doesn't it?
It really does. And if you truly grasp this, you can see how when you create something, maybe it's a song, a poem, art, maybe it's solving a tough problem at work, you're not just inventing something out of thin air. You're channeling the ocean's current through your individual drop. You become an expression, a conduit for that universal intelligence.
Ah, that's a great way to put it.
It connects your personal creative acts to something much, much larger, gives them deeper meaning. It's a bit like that feeling you sometimes get, maybe in a crowd, at a concert, or watching a sunset, or even laughing with friends, where for a moment that feeling of me dissolves.
Yeah, totally. Like you're just part of something bigger.
Exactly. You feel this singular, unified energy. The sources suggest that feeling isn't an anomaly. It's a whisper of a deeper, constant truth that's always there.
And the really good news here is that there are accessible ways, practices that can help to dissolve this illusion of separateness, help us tap into that deeper awareness in our daily lives. Things like meditation, obviously, or getting completely lost in music, or achieving those deep flow states, where you lose all track of time, completely absorbed in something.
Flow states are key.
These aren't just hobbies or relaxation techniques, according to the sources. They're described as direct pathways, direct ways to connect with that indivisible consciousness, to experience that silent I that's underneath everything. Wow, what a profound journey we've taken today. Seriously. From unpacking those personal testimony stories and getting this idea of consciousness as our true, unchanging nature, to exploring the illusion of separation and ultimately realizing our deep, profound interconnectedness with everything. It's a truly expansive way to view life, almost dizzying at first, maybe, but one that our sources insist brings immense peace and clarity.
It does. This deep dive, it really offers a profound understanding that's both incredibly ancient and incredibly relevant today. It provides, like you said, a kind of shortcut to a new perspective, one that can reshape how you see your place in the world, your relationships, even your own potential. It definitely moves beyond just intellectual curiosity. It's an invitation to a different lived experience.
So as you go about your day, maybe consider this, a provocative thought to leave you with. Think about your own moments of deep flow. Or profound connection, maybe hiking in nature, lost in music, deep in a creative project, or just that shared laugh with a friend. What if those moments aren't just random pleasant experiences? What if they're actual glimpses of those silent I am? Moments where the illusion of separateness just temporarily dissolves, where you're just experiencing pure, undifferentiated awareness. And what might truly shift in your daily life, how you interact, how you create, how you simply be, if you consciously sought to recognize that one awareness looking back at you, not just in other people's eyes, but in every single experience.
Patient, unity, renewal. And we think you'll find some really surprising insights in here that connect a lot of dots.
Yeah, it's striking when you look at them together. You see this powerful harmony, even though they come from completely different nations, different languages, different places. It's quite something, and it connects so clearly to the frameworks we often discuss, doesn't it?
Totally, like the Ouroboros versus the spiral path idea.
Exactly that. That choice point between repeating the same old destructive cycles or actually evolving. And also Sanatana Dharma, that kind of eternal truth, the blueprint for cosmic order you find underneath so many systems. These indigenous insights really echo that.
And that's the core of it, right? This isn't just about looking back. It's about figuring out why these ancient ideas feel so relevant to your life today, to the changes you're seeing, the choices we're all facing. It feels very current.
Okay, let's unpack this then. Maybe we should start with one we've touched on before, kind of as a foundation, the Hopi prophecy. Just a quick refresher. The main thing is those two paths, right? One path is, well, looping destruction, imbalance. The other is spiritual renewal.
And the Hopi elders were at the end of what they call the fourth world. And this fifth world, this era of harmony, it only comes about if humanity chooses to return to balance.
Which means what, exactly?
This means living by natural law again, really caring for all life, fostering unity. It maps directly onto that Ouroboros versus spiral path choice. It's a decision. Okay, so that's the Hopi choice point. Now, building on that, let's move to the Lakota Sioux prophecy. The return of white buffalo calf women. This one feels very alive right now.
Oh, absolutely. It's deeply symbolic. It speaks about renewal through remembering sacred connections. The prophecy foretold a white buffalo calf would be born, and that would be the sign.
A sign of what?
A sign that humanity is entering this major period of awakening, a time to reestablish balance. See, the original white buffalo calf woman brought the sacred pipe, teaching the Lakota about oneness.
Oneness with everything.
Exactly, with the earth, with each other, with source. Her return, or this sign, is a callback to that understanding. And what's really striking is, well, several white buffalo calves have been born in recent years. For the Lakota, this isn't just coincidence. It's seen as the fulfillment of that prophecy.
Wow, so it's happening now.
They believe so. It's seen as this urgent call to action. It's saying, okay, humanity, it's time. Remember that sacred relationship with the earth, our mother, with each other, our family, with the divine source. It's a call to heal divisions, basically, to get back into right relationship.
So it's an ecological event signaling a spiritual shift. That's powerful, a living prophecy, like you said. And that core message, right relationship, interconnection, it really resonates with that Sanatana Dhamma idea, doesn't it?
It absolutely does. That eternal truth, the underlying cosmic order that, permeates everything, living in alignment. It's the same fundamental principle.
Okay, so from the plains and the white buffalo, let's shift focus. Let's look at the Cree prophecy of the Rainbow Warriors. This one always feels so evocative, so visual.
It really is. It speaks of a time after a lot of destruction, both environmental and spiritual. A group called the Rainbow Warriors will emerge to restore balance. The quote itself is powerful. When the earth is sick and dying, the warriors of the rainbow will arise. They will unite the people of all colors, creeds, and beliefs, and they will teach the ways of the Great Spirit again.
Unite all people, that's key.
Yes, it points to overcoming division through a shared purpose, healing the earth, healing ourselves. And what's crucial here is the universal nature of it. It's not about just one tribe.
Right, not literal warriors in that sense.
No, exactly. It's an archetype. The idea is that anyone who wakes up and chooses to live from love, from care, from unity, anyone working for the good of the earth and all beings, regardless of their background, is part of this.
So it's a spiritual calling open to everyone.
Precisely. It's about embodying those qualities. It's a moral and spiritual awakening.
And we've talked about similar ideas, haven't we? That 144,000 archetype. People waking up, seeing through old illusions, trying to anchor a new reality based on truth and unity.
Yes, it connects very strongly. It's about that conscious choice to step up, to embody a higher awareness and act from it.
Okay, so from collective awakening, let's turn to the Zuni prophecy, the day of purification. This one sounds a bit more intense, maybe.
It can seem that way. The core idea is that there's a time coming when the earth itself acts to cleanse the imbalance we've created. If humanity keeps ignoring natural and spiritual laws, the prophecy says nature will respond.
Oh.
Through upheaval, intense floods, fires, storms. It's framed not as punishment, but as a rebalancing, a necessary correction.
Is it all doom and gloom then?
No, and this is the crucial part. It emphasizes that those who remember and live in harmony with natural law, they'll get through it. They not only survive the cleansing, but they're key to rebuilding a balanced world afterwards. So there's a path through.
That sounds incredibly similar to the Hopi idea of purification.
It really does.
Are there differences in how they see that death of the old world part? Or is it pretty much the same idea? Both seem to point to clearing things out.
It's a great point. There's huge overlap. Both talk about intense upheaval, dismantling old ways that just aren't working. Maybe the Zuni focus a bit more on nature's direct response to us, like a feedback mechanism. While the Hopi might frame it more as a destined end of a cycle, one world ending before the next. But the core message, identical. Chaos comes before renewal, and sticking to spiritual principles is how you navigate it and build the new.
The death of the old, but also the birth pangs of the new.
Exactly that.
Okay, from purification, let's shift again. Let's look at the Cherokee wisdom and this interesting prophecy about the rattlesnake constellation. This one feels more personal, maybe.
It does focus on transformation. It speaks of a specific time, signaled by the rising of the rattlesnake constellation. This celestial event marks the end of a very long cycle and simultaneously the start of renewal. And the teaching that goes with it is key. Humans must shed their skin.
Like a snake.
Precisely. It's a metaphor for letting go, releasing old beliefs, outdated systems, anything that's holding back our evolution.
So shedding the old to allow growth.
Yes. It's about a necessary, sometimes uncomfortable internal and external transformation to move forward.
That shedding skin image is really potent, isn't it? It's not just passive letting go.
No, it implies an active, maybe even vulnerable process.
And it ties right back to getting off that Ouroboros loop, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
Literally shedding the old fear-based programming that keeps us stuck, allowing ourselves to wake up to something higher.
A higher consciousness, more compassion, a new way of being. It's a profound shift. And yeah, I feel intense, like the snake wriggling free. And you see this theme everywhere, right? The dark night of the soul, death and rebirth motifs in so many traditions. It's about that real, felt experience of releasing what no longer serves, individually and collectively. It asks us to look hard at what we're clinging to.
Okay, let's keep moving. What about the Navajo prophecy, the changing of worlds? Does that echo these themes too?
It certainly does. The core idea here is humanity moving through different ages, worlds. Each world has its own quality, its own consciousness. And they teach, we've already transitioned through several worlds, each ending due to some kind of imbalance.
And we're at another end now.
We're at the end of the fourth world, according to this prophecy. And the fifth world emerges, but not automatically. It emerges when humans remember who they truly are, their divine nature, essentially, and restore balance with Mother Earth.
So remembering and rebalancing.
Yes,
Yeah.
reconnecting with our roots, our essence, getting past the illusion that we're separate from everything.
It's amazing how closely that mirrors the Hopi Fifth World idea and others we've discussed. They're all calling for us to embody truth, unity, get back to our authentic selves. That seems to be the key to reaching that next level.
It's a shared call to evolve, definitely. Not just survive, but evolve.
And, okay, finally, let's bring in the Mayan and Aztec cycles, the fifth sun.
Right. These traditions talk about humanity passing through huge epochs, these suns. Each sun has its own characteristics, and each eventually ends. We're currently in the time related to the fifth sun, which marks the end of one massive cycle and the birth of the next.
And 2012 wasn't the end then.
No, definitely not the end of the world, like some people thought.
Mm.
It was understood more as a major shift point, a pivot between these grand cycles. This particular era, sometimes called the Sun of Movement, is interesting because it emphasizes transformation and, crucially, human choice. So the meaning for now. It connects with everything else. The shift is happening. We're in it. But, and this is key, it's not automatic. It's not just going to unfold perfectly without us. It really depends on collective awakening, on the choices we make now.
Individually and together.
Yes. Do we operate from love, unity, conscious creation? Or do we fall back into fear, division, reaction? Our free will is central right now.
That emphasis on choice again. It always comes back to that, doesn't it?
It seems to.
Evolve consciously into that higher paradigm, the new sun, or just reset the loop, repeat the old pattern.
That seems to be the crux of it. The choice is ours, collectively, in this moment.
Okay, so we've looked at Hopi, Lakota, Cree, Zuni, Cherokee, Navajo, Mayan, Aztec. Wow. When you pull all these diverse threads together, what's the bigger picture? What's the pattern that jumps out? What does it all mean for us today?
Well, when you connect the dots, it's just incredibly coherent. It's astonishing, really. Across all these different nations, different times, different places, you see these shared themes popping up again and again. There's always a time of purification, external chaos, internal struggle.
Right.
There are always two distinct paths presented, decline or renewal, a clear choice. Then there's the emergence of this awakened archetype.
Like the Rainbow Warriors, the Pipe Keepers.
Exactly. Or the fifth sun initiates. People dedicated to anchoring love, truth, unity, a fundamental callback to natural law, sacred relationship. And always, this points towards a period of profound renewal, a fifth world, a fifth sun, a new beginning. So the overarching pattern, it seems to be this cycle in human consciousness. We forget who we are, then we remember. When we get out of balance spiritually, ecologically, socially, purification happens, chaos. But during that chaos, this group arises, the Rainbow Warriors, the Spiral Walkers, whatever name we use to anchor love and model a new way,
And the way forward.
is open by choosing truth, choosing care for all life, choosing self-mastery, taking responsibility for our own growth. That's the path into renewal.
So the bottom line here for you listening is really quite profound. We have wisdom keepers from across the Americas, separated by language, geography, even millennia, and they are all describing this moment, the turning point we are living through right now.
It seems that way.
Humanity faces this fundamental choice. Stay stuck in the old loops of suffering and division, fear and conflict. Or wake up, remember who we are, our connection to everything, Consciously, courageously build that path of renewal. And this loops right back perfectly to our core idea, the Ouroboros versus the spiral path. Staying unconscious, repeating mistakes. That keeps us on the loop. Division, fear, same old story. But waking up, embodying love, making conscious choices, that opens the spiral path upward towards a new reality, the fifth world, the fifth sun, a transformed existence based on harmony.
And it's a choice we're making every single day, individually and as a whole. The sheer coherence of it all, it's stunning. This unified vision from such diverse cultures, all pointing to the same fundamental choice we face today. It really invites you to think about the power of that shared understanding, doesn't it?
Yeah.
What deeper truths might be at play here?
Absolutely. And maybe that leads us to the final thought for you to ponder. What does it mean for you personally to shed your skin, like the Cherokee prophecy suggests? What old beliefs or ways might need releasing in your life? And how can you, in your own way, embody the spirit of those rainbow warriors in your daily choices? How can you contribute to this collective awakening, helping to anchor that new reality? Just consider how these deep ancient prophecies resonate with the changes and choices you see and feel around you right now. What personal transformation might be calling to you? Hey,